What you doing? Young people. Hey guys, what are you doing at 11 o'clock? You say, are you free to go to the garden? They're just tapping like mad. Know anybody? You can get I'll give it to you. Yes, but I'm sure she'll have a lot of stuff. Very simple. Can you find, would you want this living day? The last name? I hope it will stay on my
Crack of dawn and the harlot sings, drenched in broken angel wings, and the chains are cut from round her feet as starlight shines upon the street. So take it as you go and drench yourself in the river below. For fellow here and soon behold, peace begins with me, you know. Sewn into his bedtime robe, the words of peace and shiny gold, lay it on the farmer's ground, no love that can't be found. So take it as you go and drench yourself in the river below. For fellow here and soon behold, 'cause peace begins with me, you know. Harlot falls on stony ground with a heavy thud and a thunder sound. Be a point and be a rain, null and do in this my name. Well, take it as you go and drench yourself in the river below. For fellow here and soon behold, that peace begins with me, you know. Oh, take it as you go and drench yourself in the river below. For fellow here and soon behold, that peace begins with me, you know. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day. I'll probably see you later on at some point.
Hi everyone. My name is Yona and I'm an international relations student of Dublin City University. I feel really honoured to be asked to be the one to welcome you all here today in these beautiful grounds of the Dublin Castle, or Dublin Gardens in Dublin Castle. Who would have thought that our dream would be fulfilled in this undoubtedly the most fitting place to celebrate Ireland's televised celebration of the UN International Day of Peace? We considered it some miracle that we are here today to make this beautiful garden the birthplace of our dream of peace. John Fitzgerald and Des Swords of the Office of Public Works are our heroes. At the time when we almost abandoned the dream for this Peace Day celebration because we didn't have a venue, they came along like angels, heralds of good news. They not just offered us a place, they offered us the castle's most beautiful round garden, perhaps even Dublin's most historical garden. Maybe after this event, we, the youth of Ireland, will begin to call the Dublin Gardens our Peace Garden. To those of you who are watching us on television and on webcasts in different parts of the world through the UN, let me also welcome you to Dublin Castle, at least virtually. And if you ever find yourself coming to Ireland one day, please make sure to visit this garden that held our peace dream. This is one big, beautiful and happy day for our team and for all of us gathered here. And I am truly honoured to welcome you all to our beautiful ceremony in a huge welcome and thank you. Fáilte rót agus guraibh míle maith agat.
Lord Mayor, honoured guests, it's a great honour on behalf of Instruments of Peace to thank you all for your presence here today in this wonderful setting of Dublin Castle Gardens to celebrate peace in this oasis of peace at the heart of a bustling city on a busy Friday morning. Today, on the day the UN designated International Day of Peace, we pause for a moment in solidarity with millions of others across the globe, also marking this day, and we reflect on the precious gift of peace, aware that recent events, and indeed our own very recent history, tell us that we should never take that gift for granted. Today's event follows on from the peace conference organised by Instruments of Peace that took place on this day last year. One of the speakers at that event was President Michael D. Higgins, who spoke about the importance of building a sustainable peace. The words of the American poet Archibald MacLeish, words that were subsequently incorporated into the preamble of the UNESCO's founding constitution, were quoted by President Higgins. He said, "Since wars begin in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that defence of peace must be constructed. But how is this peace to be built in the minds of men and in the minds of women? How is this vision of peace, which begins and grows in the minds of each individual, to be realised? One way, an essential way, is through silence. The peace of silence gives pause for thought. Silence brings the space and opportunity for quiet reflection and introspection. In the ancient world, silence was looked on as the basis of a moral education, because in silence we are forced to confront ourselves. Looking inwards, we see what sort of person we really are. A measure of a person is how he or she treats others, how he or she relates to others. One of the themes of International Peace Day is that peace begins with me. It is the fruit of many individual efforts. In the silence of our quiet reflection today, I hope we will be inspired to think how our treatment of others is the starting point of peace, our individual contribution to peace. In today's minute's silence, we'll each be left with our own individual thoughts, but the quiet of that silence will link us to people in other places who long for the sweetest silence of all, the silence that follows the end of conflict. Appropriately, therefore, today's International Peace Day is also Global Truce Day, a campaign associated with Peace Day to promote the cessation of hostilities for this one day. Last month, I brought my family, we went to Normandy, and we visited Omaha Beach to see the place of the D-Day landings of 1944. Afterwards, we wandered into the village and sat for a while in the green in the center of that village. It was a sparkling summer's day, and we sat in peace and tranquility and quiet of that setting. And in that quiet peace, what struck me most was that this was once the center of a war zone. This was the eye of the storm of global conflict. And in that quiet moment of reflection, I was very thankful to be living in the time that I do, thankful for the peace that we enjoy, and aware that the greatest gift we can pass on to the next generation is that peace. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the many, many people who gave of their time and talents and resources to make today's event possible. And I hope that today's events and the events of tomorrow and Sunday will give us all a chance for quiet reflection on the importance of peace in our lives and in our world. Thank you.
Thank you, Damien. It's such a beautiful thought for us to think, to take from this. The best gift we can give to the next generation is peace. Now, I'm going to call on Maire McDonnell. She's a student from Trinity College. It was Maire who gave me this idea, or who gave us this idea to do this event. I was just having a meeting with students in Lemon, somewhere there near Trinity College, and I asked, what shall we do on World Peace Day? And it was Maire who came up with this idea of holding hands together for 1 minute, not just any kind of silence, but really holding that silence by joining our hands together. So Maire, it's over to you.
Today is a day of global ceasefire, nonviolence, and peace. This year, Ireland was ranked the 6th most peaceful country in the world. And when we have the privilege of living in what is now such a peaceful country, we sometimes take it for granted. Because in the absence of peace, society falls apart. The beginning of this day has very humble beginnings. A young man, Jeremy Gilly, asked one question: where is the starting point for peace? There was no day of global unity that humanity shared, that we are all in this together. So with that, he wrote to everyone, letters and emails for 3 years, until in 2001, in a UN resolution, the 21st of September was marked as the official day of international peace. This day is more than symbolism. It is a window of opportunity. The Taliban wrote to Jeremy saying they would observe this global day of ceasefire on September 21st, saying, we will not engage. That meant humanitarian workers would not be kidnapped or killed, and as a direct consequence of everyone stopping, in one day, 1.6 million children were vaccinated against polio. It is a window of opportunity. We are one of the 174 countries celebrating at noon today. We are one piece in a much larger puzzle. Through all of us, we are making silence visible. In a glass of water, if you put one drop in it, it will change that water. We can work together to change things. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As Lord Mayor of Dublin, I want to welcome you all here today, those here from Dublin, those here from the wider island of Ireland, and those in from abroad. And I know there are many of you here from abroad as well. I want to welcome those that are watching online. This is being streamed online. I want to welcome Damien to the real capital of Ireland, Dublin. The fact that Cork, Damien is a Cork man, the fact that Cork are not in the All-Ireland final is just an added bonus as far as I'm concerned. Peace Day is a platform for nations, cities, organisations, groups and individuals to mark humanity's common need for peace. A day to celebrate the peace that belongs to all and is the right of all. It is a day all religions of the world share and observe as a day of peace. Today, 31 years after its inception, hundreds of millions of people in more than 100 countries all around the world are observing this day as a day to say thanks for the peace that they enjoy, and also as a Remembrance Day for all those who have sacrificed their lives for the pursuit of peace and for the victims of wars and acts of violence. Since 2001, this day, the 21st of September, has been designated by the UN as a day of global ceasefire. Specifically in countries torn apart by war, the UN tries to negotiate a 24-hour cessation of hostilities, as mentioned earlier, and safe passage for humanitarian aid workers to bring in much-needed supplies like food, medicine, and sanitation for all. The theme of this year's celebration is a sustainable peace for a sustainable future. Ireland is lucky to be amongst the top 10 most peaceful countries in the world. It is ranked number 6 in this year's Global Peace Index, and without a doubt we have had our share of strife in the past. So the important thing is, how can we make Ireland's peacefulness sustainable? This city of Dublin is a member of the International Cities of Peace. The Lord Mayor of Dublin is a member of the 5,276 Mayors for Peace. So the question is, what can Dublin do for world peace? We are a city hospitable to all cultures. We are a city of great thinkers and literary writers. And we are a city of young people who bring much to the area of peacemaking and opening up new ideas. So, in closing, I suppose the City Council meets down here, just down the road at the City Hall every month, and we start with a moment of reflection before we start. And in a sense, silence is often the beginning of all work for peace. Starts with a moment of reflection and a period of silence. So with that, we have 2 minutes to arrange you people to create a spiral. So if you could organise in a spiral and join hands together, please, in preparation for 12 o'clock. Thank you.
There's a white box there in the middle. That's the starting point of the spiral. And we now want you to just create a spiral, joining hands together, and expand the spiral right to the outside of the circle. It is our symbol of reaching out to the rest of the world with our moment of silence, a moment of peace. And we are joined by more than 100 million people in more than 100 countries celebrating this moment in their own local time zones. Now let's begin the moment of silence, 60 seconds of silence. And let's send the peace to the rest of the world. youngest peacemaker here in Ireland, to express for us all how we all are feeling at the moment. We are all feeling good.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you will know what I mean. Butterflies on having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world, and the old world for me. Stop when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
Are we all feeling good? Yes. I would now like to ask Mike Donaghy to come back here on stage and lead us to sing and dance together the message that we want to send out to the rest of the world. All we are saying is give peace a chance, because there's still many other activities happening for the next 54 hours. It's our first ever World Peace Weekend in Ireland, and hopefully it will grow from there, grow from strength to strength. Now, we have Mike to lead us, and please join hands again if you want. Give peace a chance.
Peace be laid on me, and I find it away from every corner of the world. And everyone's gonna say that peace was made down here. Find out how I feel, 'cause all we are saying is give peace a chance. And all we are saying is give peace a chance. Every corner of the world is hanging out. Bring peace alive and bring it now. We'll all raise our hands and we will raise a voice up high, saying, bring peace to me in all our lives.
peace attend.
I heard it before. Did you take a picture?
Of the world, please stay, guys.